I'ma always respect what Dre and them put down. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
What Quick put down. You know what I'm saying?
With all the females in
Most
hip-hop
Wanted,
put down.
Yo, JJ Fad, you know what I mean? King T, DJ Pooh, Deadly Threat, you feel me? DOC. I'm all above the law, Big Hutch. I'ma always respect what they put down. You feel me? So I don't gotta get nothing from them. Yeah. So if the next generation after me and the generation after that, if they keep that code, then the West Coast will always be all good. You know what I'm saying?
So today, y'all, we're gonna get into Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? One of the lyrical kings. You know what I mean? Good Kid, M.A.A.D City. Got to get into this album. It is a classic. We don't just shovel that word around too much with projects. But this is definitely a classic.
I think what makes it a classic is the originality. Yeah.
No. I was just wondering if he could hear you.
Yes.
Okay. Because you far from the mic, babe. That's all.
I have a big, strong voice.
Touche.
Yes.
Touche.
Yeah, I think that's what really sets it as a classic was the originality of a lyricist of his magnitude coming from the city of Compton and being purely, even though with a hippie bent, purely hip hop. And the hippie bent just made it even more appealing because it resonated with just the normal people. It wasn't like the drug dealer rap. It wasn't the gangster rap. It wasn't the, the pimp rap or whatever, however you want to place that. It touched all aspects of city living and what you had to go through to survive in the inner city. And I got this just from being incarcerated at the time when it came out. I think I was like 7 or 8 years into my bid. I still had a few more left. So I brought our daughter on today, ConiYac, Kimmie Diamond, so she could convey how much the album meant to her because it came out during her high school years. And it had a direct impact on her psyche, on her development in hip hop, and all this all the way around. So she's gonna pretty much be filling in for me right now for this album because she's more qualified to speak on such a classic album, and I wouldn't do it the proper service. So I'm just gonna take a back seat and let y'all do y'all thing. But I'm here.
All right, well, welcome to the show. Let's clap it up. We got a guest. This is our first official guest. You know what I'm saying?
Kimmie Diamond.
Kimmie Diamond. Yeah, she got her show music link. I know y'all caught the interview with her and Ice-T, Uncle Ice. And so, and then I know she got a lot of details on this. And, we want to get everybody's perspective on a lot of these songs and kind of the impact that it had on that generation specifically. And just like, I remember him doing a free concert, and this is just something I'm gonna put out there. And it was so many people that came out. I don't even know, did they call the police or something like that?
Something crazy.
Like it was so many, but no violence, no drama. They really came out there to just see him perform. I thought that was dope. I thought that was dope. Out here in Cali, how we get down. But yeah. But nah, so get into like the first joint.
Well, off the rip, let me take that S off her name. It's Kimmie Diamond. Believe that. Believe that. So yeah, break down the whole essence of how that captured the youth of that time. What did him coming out with the style that he came out in, as far as just being like, a regular kid from the city. How did that grab y'all with his degree of lyricism and the things that he was saying? How did that make y'all gravitate to him?
Well, coming from a generation after you guys, after the whole Death Row, Dog Pound era, he was more so like picking up where that left off with the lyricism that you guys blueprinted. So it was very beautiful to see, again, one of us to lyrically and poetically put where he from, which is Compton, on a pedestal and a perspective to where we can really gravitate his real story, his true story.
Very poetical.
Nice storytelling, classical. It's very classic worthy, for sure. And it was on the radio. Swimming pools was all up on the radio. It was like constant, oh yeah, Kendrick Lamar, he's that next big one. And, shout out to Snoop Dogg. There was a video on YouTube where he gave Kendrick Lamar the torch of being the king of the West. And that was very monumental to see. And I will never forget that day. I was like, oh, yeah, they gave the torch to the right person. So it was very beautiful. Yep. And I was a freshman in high school when he debuted this album. So, yeah.
Right on. Yeah, M.A.A.D City was my joy.
Pass the torch to that kid.
Good kid, M.A.A.D City. Good kid was my joy. I like to follow up, but the way he structured his lyrics and the poetry, it's so Tupac-esque to me. Mm-hmm. Me personally, when I first heard it, it didn't capture me because I was listening for the West Coast feel on it, mm-hmm. and it was such a grand departure from that it didn't immediately hold me, but the more I became aware of him as an artist and I got to watch his performances and how artistic he is with his stage shows and all this. And shout out to my little bro Mike Stro too, Battle Cat little bro.
Mikey.
Yeah, they he came up around the same time as him and he gave me some insight on him as well. So I think he's a very dope artist, man, and he deserves all the accolades that he gets.
Yeah, I think that is. I think it was like the storytelling aspect of it. It's like you said with the Tupac thing and things of that nature. When it comes to storytelling, we always talk about Slick Rick. We talk about Scarface. We talk about Ice Cube. You know what I mean? We talk about Nas. I feel like you got to put Kendrick in that conversation based on his work. Because Good Kid, M.A.A.D City, from a storytelling perspective, is as masterful as you're going to get.
Right.
You feel me? Like, from the intro, he's bringing you into his universe. From the intro. You know what I'm saying? And if you listen to the album, all throughout the album, there's the little details. The details are what makes a storyteller great. You know what I mean? He's telling you what he's listening to on the radio, what songs are on in that time, moment in time that he's capturing. He's telling you, oh, Martin is on TV. I'm gonna call you after this Martin show, or I'm listening to Jay-Z, to Jeezy, or I'm listening to Usher, or you know what I'm saying. I'm going over here down Rosecrans. I'm going over here by Luthers Park, by Church's Chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's giving you landmarks. He's giving you all these details. That's what it takes to pull somebody who never been to Compton into his city, so you could kind of imagine and take that ride with him. And he did it throughout the whole entire experience. Albums like these, I call them experiences. To me, they not albums. Just album doesn't even give it the right justice. It's an experience, and he takes you through that whole trip, through the whole thing. That's why it's so widely critically acclaimed, in my opinion.
Right.
Facts. It's poetry in motion. Every
every song. I love the skits in between where his mom and his dad is. She like, you got my car, you know what I'm saying? You need to come home. I done had to, reschedule my appointment down to go get my food stamps. And, Pops is like, where my damn dominoes? You know what I'm saying? And he over there singing. She said, man, you need to come on home because your daddy feeling good right now and stuff like that. He up there singing and he ain't thought about them damn dominoes, but I do need my car. I was like, this is he said,
you better bring it back on full.
He said, did somebody say dominoes? I was like, oh, this is hilarious. But it was like you said, one thing about a major thing about this album is the direction. The direction was like every piece from the skits to the songs, how the songs even transitioned to a whole nother beat. Like the transitions were crazy. It was like every piece was a puzzle. And you have to put them all together to get the full like feel of the entire album. Like you couldn't miss like a song, or you would miss like, you know what I'm saying? It's like falling asleep in the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you got the beginning,
I do that often enough.
You are so you got the beginning, but you need to know the middle on why it ended the way it did. Right. And that to me, that's how this album was really put together. In my opinion.
Very detailed. Every song had a follow-up. It's like an Easter egg. You know what I mean? Like every single song have a follow-up, and then the next song is like further explaining where the last song left off.
Yeah, he was segueing crazy.
I mean, it's like today, all right, I'm going to just say this. When it comes to, record labels and all that, one of the most risky investments is investing in an artist and signing an artist. That's one of the most risky investments in the world.
Amen.
Because you don't know if you're gonna get a dime back, and you're not gonna get the time back.
Ooh, tell that again, bro.
For somebody to invest in an artist and believe in an artist, that means that they really fuck with you. And they really, are willing to give up a piece of their life to help you improve your life.
Pure fact.
Because they want to see you win.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? So,
oh, yeah.
So when it comes to the risk that's involved with signing an artist, a lot of these labels, they decided to say, well, you know what? Let's kind of decrease that risk and let's find artists who are willing to follow trends. Because the trends, at least, they might pop off. If they follow the right trend, they catch a wave, they might pop off. We might make our money back. And I'm not mad at that from a business standpoint, because I understand that the bottom line is we got to earn money around here or keep the lights on. True. I get that part. But when we do that, we make the art suffer a little bit.
I was just
so when the art suffers, you lose the artist who's brave. So when you have an artist that's brave enough to get on stage and give something to the world that's not trendy, that's aiming for timelessness, something that's aiming for, classic, that takes a lot of balls to get up there and do that, because this might not go over well with the audience that wants to hear this particular type of sound at this particular moment. I said all that to say this. When he comes with his classic art, Good Kid, M.A.A.D City, you know what I'm saying? It's almost a crime to play this in a playlist format where the algorithm picks which song you're going to hear next. It's like, these are the type of albums that you want to hear from the top to bottom, and you want to hear it the way the artist intended you to hear it.
True. You see what I'm saying? Yes.
Now, you get these albums nowadays for the sake of, return ROIs, return on investments. For the sake of that, you get these albums where people are just making playlists. That's all they're making. They're not making bodies of work. They're making playlists, 2-minute songs. This works over here. Everything is formulaic. Everything is a formula. They're making playlists. Good Kid, M.A.A.D City, for it to be a guy that came a generation after us and from the West Coast to create a body of work that still demands you play it from the intro to the outro, or else you playing yourself. If you don't play it and listen to it the way he intended you to, for him to build that kind of a masterpiece, you know what I'm saying, and be a young guy coming out of the West Coast, is something that made me proud. Like, yo, you know what? it wasn't all for nothing, D. All the nights that we stayed up, making sure that our rhymes was tight, and making sure what we presented to the world was good. It wasn't all for nothing. You know what I mean?
No, because it was because it trickled down.
It trickled down.
It had a trickle down theory to it.
You feel me?
Yeah. I felt like that too when I finally got adjusted to him not being so step by step. Mm-hmm. In his, he'll say something and you'll have to follow what he's saying to the next 3 bars to get what he meant
back there. Yeah,
when you know what I mean. So right. I like those kind of artists that challenge me mentally like that to keep up and decipher what they say.
Yes, sir,
and stuff like that. So I had to salute him. I really got on him though when I really locked in. Was this, this back and forth that just went down?
Yeah.
Yeah, he proved to me that, he ain't nothing to play with in no shape, form, or fashion.
None.
Yeah.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe.
Bitch, don't kill my vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. That was like one of the biggest hashtags. Bitch, do not kill my vibe, because it was the realest ever. That song, I really like that one too.
We was really singing that in high school.
In high school?
I can't imagine, like, bitch, do not kill my vibe right now. You see what I'm doing? Yeah, like, wait a minute, who produced that? This don't kill my vibe. Soundwave. Okay. Soundwave. Man, you did that, bro.
That's crazy. You know what? And that song was set up to be a hit record. You know it was. Because, like, even if you're not shooting and aiming for a hit record, you know that there's certain records that you want to, catch on with your fan base, whether it becomes a hit or not. So you structure it a certain way. You put the hook first because, you know what I'm saying, you want to reel them in. You know what I mean? From the top. You don't even go, I'm going to get catchy on you in the top. You know what I'm saying? And then, the beat Soundwave provided was so smooth. The illest part about that song to me is it feels like, even though he's talking about what he's talking about, it seems like he's observing for the first time, being in the mainstream spotlight. He's looking at his peer group and he's saying, oh, y'all want to be famous. Mm-hmm. For me, getting on the stage is amazing.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. But y'all y'all in here, it's a quick check for you. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. This is what he's saying in this song.
It's not the passion.
It's not the passion. It ain't the art. It ain't the love. Oh, now that I'm here, I see what y'all about.
Yeah.
I'm going that way. Don't kill my vibe, man. I'm going over there with the homies. We gonna be smoking and drinking. Y'all niggas stay over on this side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, and when you think about that, it's like, yo, he was real grounded. He was real grounded because Good Kid, M.A.A.D City, like Section 80 was critically acclaimed for him. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then, like, she said when Snoop and them hit him with the torch on that video, and Dre in there and everybody, it's a lot of people from the West Coast in there, and they passing them the torch. Now you got phone calls coming in from everybody in the world in the industry trying to get with you and get on your wave. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And then you get Good Kid, M.A.A.D City, and you starting to peep what's going on around you in the industry, and you making these observations like, oh, that's what y'all here for?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I think we done all been through that when we done moved into some certain rooms and was like, oh, I listened to your music and I thought you was different.
Oh, I got man. Listen here, I done had that experience, and it is disappointing because I feel like coming from where we come from, it's really hard to fake what you are. Because, you know what I mean? Like, if you really from the streets, being out here faking, that's not going to really work for you. It's going to end up bad at some point. Right. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of time for you because somebody's going to see if that's what it's all about. Mm-hmm. And the same with if you're a pro-black artist, the same with if you're an activist type of artist. Like, you kind of like, oh, okay, so you approach that person in that manner of what you feel the music that they putting out, because I'm thinking that's supposed to be you, you know what I mean? You know? But then when you meet them, it's like, damn, how you like this with the black fist, and then when it do come around, you like, what the hell I do to you? I didn't do nothing but fall in the room, you know. But
is that just those with the black fist, or is there others as well?
It's just, I mean, and what's crazy is it's been a couple of people in that genre of music that I ran into, and I'm like, it's not going, because I met some great people in that genre of music that does the neo soul and different things of that nature, and they're very cool. But then it was some I was
individuals.
Like, yeah, individuals. It was some, and I was like, oh wow, that's disappointing, because I'm a fan and I really, really like what you talk about. You know what I mean? I mean, everything ain't hood. I like some other stuff.
Well, speaking of individuals, let's give J-Rock his props on that Money Trees.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. Gotta clap it up for Jay.
He definitely sold that one up right there. You know, of course, Kendrick did his thing, but he came on, boy. He exposed his lyrical dexterity. You know, coming from where we come from, you don't think that someone can be as creatively clever with breaking down what goes on in the hood and his perspective in rhyme form as dope as J-Rock did on that Money Trees cut. You know what I mean? He locked me in with that one.
Yeah, always been a fan of J-Rock.
And he a good dude, man. Shout out to J-Rock.
Yeah, Money Trees is a personal favorite of mine off this album. And that hi-hat and 808 combination made the song so beautiful. And the sample of it is by Silver Soul Song by Beach House, and it's in reverse. And it's done so beautifully. Like, the instrumental is hard though, but the quotables, ya bitch.
Man.
Hashtag ya bitch.
Ya bitch.
Especially on Twitter. If you had a Twitter,
ya bitch you.
Ya bitch.
Yeah.
A whole lot.
It was.
You know, hallelujah, hallelujah. Like, it's like deciphering the difference between, you know, what's righteous and what's lustful. I love how he broke down the whole thing with monogamy and lust. That's like one of the biblical themes throughout this album that he used that I notice a lot.
Oh, no wonder it begins with the religious intro, you know, and then goes in with grandma telling them about accepting, you know.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Grandma prayed for him.
Yeah.
That was a good one. I'm like, we probably need to run this script on
The
the
peer
record.
pressure was hard too. Y'all can't.
Gang signs out the window, you bitch. And I hope they offend you bitch.
They say your hood is a pot of gold. We gon' crash it with nobody's home.
Hey, another thing, he was also talking about. He was talking about a lot of, you know what I mean, flocking and home invasions on here too. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, that's a source of income for a lot of the youth out here in California. You know,
a real source.
It's not without its risks, of course, but you know, it's how a lot of people get their dollars out here.
You better believe it.
Big fact.
What's so beautiful about that song is when he perform it live, you hear the crowd singing along with it. He doesn't even have to rap to it. The whole crowd know it word from word. He has that type of impact. Just like a Hidden Gem is not like an official single, but everyone who listens to that album, that was like their main go-to. Like, the views on it is crazy. The streaming is crazy on that song.
This hour of D-Yak and Crook was brought to you by Lil Belize Restaurant at 217 East Nutwood Street in Inglewood, California. Make sure y'all check it out for the best eats in town.
For a taste of Caribbean cuisine, visit Little Billy's restaurant located at 217 Nutwood Street in Inglewood, California. Enjoy appetizers, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Serve our delicious food at your next party or event. Our catering menu is perfect for weddings, picnic, holiday parties, or company banquets. Give us a call at 310-674-0696.
That's like the fan favorite Money Trees is, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, it's crazy because he kept that cadence going, and I think that's why they can sing it. So, you know, it's not a very complicated cadence to mimic, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But he did it on purpose. But you can follow his thought patterns when you think about, like when we write, one thought leads to another. And then sometimes we wonder, well, how did you get there? How did you arrive at this thought from that thought? You know what I'm saying? Talk. So it's like when you listen to him and he's like, you know, and then Usher Raymond, what he say? Let It Burn. Usher Raymond came on. Let It Burn.
Yeah,
he's like,
the time frame.
He's showing you the time frame. And then what comes after Burn? What would lead? Oh, top ramen, hot sauce all up in the top ramen. Usher Raymond, Let It Burn is on. Hot sauce in the top ramen, which is burning your tongue, burning like these. This is the way you get from one thought to the next thought. You feel me? And the person listening just think they talking about having a song on while you just eating. They don't know that the Let It Burn is the reason why you came with the hot sauce line. You know what I'm saying? They don't even know that part. Yeah. So he's dropping these nuggets. And he just doing what he supposed to do on the album, man. Like it's super classic, and it's just dope that we have. Cause I mean, classics like Yak said, we don't throw that word around. We don't throw classic around. I'm not trying to interview you. I ain't trying to get in your good graces for a feature. Nah, I ain't trying to do none of that. So you ain't gonna hear me sitting up here talking about you making a classic unless guess what?
I feel it's a classic.
Real talk, yeah, bitch.
Hit the house and tell me, is you wedded?
Hey, so look, speaking of the thing that Dee brought up between Kendrick and Drake, right? Mm-hmm. Poetic Justice. Featuring Drake.
Man, you can't go wrong with Janet Jackson.
The song
Talk about that.
Dope.
You cannot go wrong with Janet. This flip that Scoop DeVille produced.
Shout out Scoop DeVille.
Shout out Scoop.
Kid Frost's son.
Scoop?
Yes.
That's what I was about to say.
Did
Scoop
that.
DeVille did
Yeah,
that?
he did the Poetic Justice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That and then this is a song with Kendrick and Drake.
Right.
That everybody knows and it was a hit. It was probably one of my favorite songs on the album. To be honest, you know what I mean? They both came and delivered like a mug. So it kind of leads me to the beef was personal.
Yeah, that part. What Schoolboy say? That part. Since we on our TDE right now, you know what I'm saying?
Woo! Nah, but
the beef was personnel.
The beef was personnel. You know what I mean? I've never seen. I've never seen any type of beef like this that was back to back. Like it didn't breathe for a week. No. I've never seen anything. It was like answering within minutes. It went from hours. It went from days to hours to minutes on responding. And I'm like, this shit is getting. But you know, like they said, as long as they keep it on wax, I love it. It shook up the hip hop. It shook up the hip hop community because it started to make. Yeah, Mrs. What's her name? Azalea. Yeah, started to make rapidy rap back in. Why you bullshitting, Miss Rapidy Rap? Anyway, it started to make
you bitch. Gang signs out the window, you bitch.
Open all of them offend you.
Yeah, I thought that was like, to be a hip hop artist, to even say that was real disrespectful.
Yeah.
Regardless, it didn't have to be him, or it didn't even have to be a beat. It's just like, that's a part of the art. What the hell are you talking about? Anyway.
Yeah.
But the way that they came on this, the poetic justice, and then the way they responded to each other, I was like, this is crazy.
To me, it seemed like two top fighters that had a rematch and another rematch all in a week.
Yeah, all in a week.
Like you don't see that.
And we was on demand. We was paying on demand. But I'm gonna tell you something. We would have paid for that on demand. We would have paid for that.
Sometimes the fans get what they ask for. So hey, they say be careful what you ask for, because when Kendrick was being quiet, you know what I'm saying, they was like, where you at? Oh, he came. You know what I'm saying? You got what you asked for.
Bear got poked.
To me, it was like corporate versus culture, and the culture won. But back to this song, though, like when we talk about this song, in particular, it made me think about how LL kind of pioneered, you know what I mean, the record that talks to the women. You know what I'm saying? From a rap records that, you know, they call them the chick records, you know what I'm saying? Where, you know, these records are just talking to the women. And LL was like one of those who pioneered that. And then, you know, Tupac was really good with that too.
He was.
And,
he was.
you know, Ja Rule was good at that.
He was.
And, you know, this poetic justice, it slid right into that lane, and these two guys sound great together. You know what I'm saying? And what they were able to do from poetic justice to today with their careers is phenomenal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when I was listening to poetic justice, I had no clue that they would be who they are today.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you couldn't have predicted that.
Yeah, man. So, you know, shout out to them dudes. They felt real comfortable in that lane, you know, and like you said, that's Janet Jackson. So
Yeah, you can't go wrong with the Jacksons. I don't care what Jackson you pick. Honestly, on the flip,
I'm dying of thirst. That was well crafted.
oh my God, bro.
Yeah.
That one.
Crafted. Yeah.
I love how it started off, because the first part was like giving a perspective of two different people, and also giving his own adversity, you know what I'm saying? When the lights shut off and it's my turn to settle down, I may concern. It's like a metaphor of sleep, transitioning, and death. Like, if I was to not be here tomorrow, the Sing About Me part resonates with legacy. Like, you know, at least you remember
Keep
me
my
when
story
I go.
going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
very well said.
Yeah, it's crazy because, like, that song in particular is like, when we write songs about our life, we are the star of that movie, right? Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of cast members that end up in our story. You know, like my father would become a cast member of one of my stories on my songs, you know what I mean? And without even getting permission from him, I'm rapping from my perspective of how his decisions affected me. And you know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's a stranger, sometimes it's somebody that, you know, you only know, you know, for a couple of years. Sometimes it's a good friend, sometimes it's a family member, but all these people, they come into our lives and become part of the story when we write. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we don't get the permission to use their likeness and their names in our stories. And Kendrick on this song was kind of rapping from the perspective of those cast members. Like, who told you to make a song about me? Right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm, like, you feel me? Like, who told you, who said that was cool for you to rap about my sister and what she was going through? You made a song about my sister and what she was going through. Right. Who said that we wanted that out there like that? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Real. So this is when, and all my young writers out there, this is how you achieve greatness. You find different perspectives to write from. Don't just only stay in your own box. Come out of that box. Think about things.
Don't be scared to hop out that box.
Don't be scared to hop out, because that was crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Experiment. That's I was me and my daughter was talking, and we were talking about transition, like artist transition. Remember, we were talking about how Queen Latifah, she's one of my favorites. Of course, she's an icon at the same time, but she started to do jazz music. And I was like, oh man, Latifah, jazz, that's where we going? And she was dope at it.
Yeah,
I was like, damn, I was like, wow, you can sing. Like, we heard her sing on Unity, UNITY. She flexed her skills, but with actually just doing like specific, like just jazz in particular, and not mixing it with hip hop, it kind of like, it put that versatility, like try stuff. That's jumping way out the box in really, trying new things and stuff like that. That's why the transition or whatever. So I thought that was dope. But that was just one thing that I seen. I was like, oh my goodness. But like, jump out the box, because she could have stayed making music. She was dope at it. It wasn't like we weren't rocking with it.
Yeah, and I love how you mentioned transitioning, because in the song Sing About Me and I'm Dying of Thirst, when we transitioned to I'm Dying of Thirst, that's when it became real. We get, Kendrick got the phone call of losing somebody very close to him, and you hear like the dying of thirst of the irritation and the frustration of the environment that they was in. Like, golly, another funeral, another loss, you know what I mean? But that's what really goes on in their environment. So it was like dark imagery. He painted a dark image, but it's true, but it's reality though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just very.
He put it in a real artistic form, to where I think people wouldn't, because to be honest, he talked about the same things that, when Ice Cube talked about it, he did. It's the way the message is conveyed. Because I heard everything that was familiar to me growing up in this good kid, M.A.A.D City, just the things that were going on, losing people at a young age. I first started, I hate to say collecting, but, I went to my first funeral from, a murder at 13, right. And I didn't, I had my mom take me to the funeral, and she was like, what's going on? And I said, no, my friend, and she was like, what friend is this? I'm 13, and she, so I got to experience that. But once that happened, that was a normal thing, and it shouldn't be normal, but it was a normal thing. So he was giving you all the perspectives, like growing up in school, what the young dudes did, when they were hanging out, what his homies was doing, they might get in trouble. You just never know where the day was gonna go, kind of stuff. Yeah. So
I think that's very important. Like the peer pressure joint and the good kid joint. I think the importance of those joints is that a lot of West Coast music, that becomes popular, you're listening from the gang member's perspective. You're not listening from the non-gang member, but I'm in the car because I love these niggas is my homies. You're not listening from that person's perspective. You know what I'm saying? And Kendrick is giving you the perspective of somebody that said, hey, I'm not an active gang member, but these niggas is my homies. I love them.
Exactly.
And when I go hang with them, it's no telling what can happen. I might be caught up in the activities. True. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he's giving that perspective, and I think that perspective is very, very important, because that story has not been told a lot over here. You know what I'm saying? By the people that we offer into the mainstream. Now, there's stories like that all throughout the underground. But as far as the people who make it to the mainstream level, that perspective has not been really shared to the point where, people can get it like, oh, okay, that's how they live. You know what I'm saying? So, so even on that one joint, like I said, he's telling it from that perspective. He has the Roy Ayers sample. It's a song. It's called
Everybody Love the Sunshine. Is that it?
No, it's not that one. It's called We Live in Brooklyn, Baby.
Yes.
We Live in Brooklyn, baby, and he's actually doing a play on that in the hook. You know what I'm saying? And it just gives you that real hip hop boom bap sample flip feeling, you know, and at the same time it's telling this story from his perspective, like, hey man, I might catch a charge tonight fucking with my niggas. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that was really important, man, because I've, like you said, you know, we heard it. Even some of our rappers might not have been so super active, but they still rapped from the gang member perspective. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like there's a lot of perspectives out here. There's the pimp perspective, the activist perspective, the non-affiliate perspective. You know what I mean? It's so many different things going on that I like to see all of the whole spectrum be represented. You know what I'm saying?
Is that the joint where he told his when his mom called and he said he was chilling or he was kicking it, and then he said he should have told her he was gonna catch his first offense. I dug that too.
Real talk.
Real talk.
Reality. Yeah, no, that was a great way to put it. He was giving it to you from the perspective of somebody that wasn't active but was actively outside.
Right.
With, you know, and it could go either way. You know, you just never know where the day gonna go.
Yeah, we outside.
Yeah,
we outside.
We outside. Yeah, that's real. That's what it is.
And then
boy.
we get to M.A.A.D City, where your grandmama, you know, your grandmama live, nigga.
Fuck who you know. Where you from, my nigga?
Hey.
Where your grandma stay, huh?
Yo.
Hey, no, that's real.
That is the real. Like y'all
That
just gotta
is
understand.
real.
That is real.
That's one of the realest things. I mean, because it's like, who are you? Are you over here? Like, where you live? Oh, my auntie. Who is your auntie?
Yeah.
That is some of the real stuff because you know, it's like going over your family member's your family member's house, and you over there, you meet their friends for the weekend, and y'all at the park, so everything is kind of different. They like, who are you? And you know what I mean. You got to make your little mark over there. Like, it was dead ass. That was the press. Where you from? Who are you? Who you know?
Who you know?
You better say all the right answers. You better answer all the right questions. That name better hold some weight.
Yeah.
Because if you drop a name and it don't, it could go all bad.
It can go super bad.
Super bad. But that was dope. I love the way he put that.
What Kimmie Diamond, what was he aiming for on that Shireen song?
Shireen,
Master Splinter's daughter, aka Master Splinter's daughter. What was he getting to on that? Because it seemed like they was chilling and they was cool and that was his girl and all that, but it seemed like he was kind of like putting her out there like she really wasn't that much to him. I didn't really get that.
It was more so like that story was more so digging into Kendrick's fantasy of that girl in the neighborhood that he find like I gotta get with her, like, you know what I mean, but she's around these people and her people don't really merge with mine, but I'm willing to take that risk because I gotta hit that. So it was like more so that story.
Okay.
That is the hood. That's the hood.
Another realism.
Another realism.
Hey,
it's been that girl in every hood.
I gotta take 2 pistols over here with me, but I'm going.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Okay, I get it now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It was more like fictionally structured.
Yeah, like, dig into the whole mahogany versus lust part of the whole thing. And he was young too, so his hormones was high. He like, man, I gotta get this girl, man. It was like that. Yeah, Shireen.
This is, you know what? He sat down with every song at home.
That's what
because
that's what it said.
It was all the lyrics to each song was like the perfect marriage. You know how sometimes you might hear, you know, somebody rapping on the beat and it's like, this one kind of don't, you know, and then you hear something else like, ooh, that fits you. Like, we need some more of these. You know, the labels will do you like that. We need some more of these.
Oh yeah, all the time.
That's cool, but this is where you shine. But it seems to me that he took each beat home and sat on it and knew exactly who we wanted as a feature. Knew exactly what song would fit which feature. None of this sounds forced.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you know how they do album fillers?
Even when M.A.A. came on the scene, you know what I'm saying? It fit perfect.
And who would have thought that?
To that death certificate vibe, that boom, you know what I'm saying? So now you getting death certificate vibes right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, that's another thing. That's another thing because we tend to, and when I say we, I mean people in our generation, we tend to talk to the younger generation like, yo, y'all don't never respect the OGs. Y'all don't ever salute the legends who opened the door for y'all, who, you know, trailblaze for y'all. Like, I see that a lot because I follow a lot of people in the industry who, you know, are in my age group. And that's a common thing that they say is, y'all don't never, you know, y'all don't be giving us the salute that we deserve. And, you know, y'all don't listen to the legends. But guess what? Kendrick came in the game putting in, yo, let me get with MC8. You know what I'm saying? Let me get with the OG that kicked the door open for me in Compton to be a Compton MC.
City, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me get with him. You know what I mean? Let me flip this sound right here and have this sounding like Death Certificate. You know what I'm saying? To pay homage to what Ice Cube put down before me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's real.
These are the things that we gotta highlight when it happens. We gotta salute it when it happens because I find us all too often saying when it's not happening.
Yeah,
and we can't keep focusing on
it
that.
does happen. Yeah,
Not when it does
and honestly, that's very good one. And I think it's a tip for artists too, because what I think a lot of them fail to realize is those people before you, a lot of them are in positions to make decisions about your career. So you do have to be careful with that. And I think that, you know, like you said, the pay homage, it only helps you. Everybody that I seen do that, they are like set for life.
For real.
They're like, you know, look at Beyonce with, you know, she gives all the R&B queens, their Patti LaBelle, the Diana Rosses, the Tina Turners. She gives them the praise. You know what I mean? Most of the artists do, like you said, Kendrick Lamar doing it. You know what I mean? 50 Cent making sure he get the OGs on his, because that's pretty much what he had outside of the new G Unit. He had nothing but the people before him on his project. Honestly, the Nates, the Snoops. You know what I mean? You know, all those artists that actually showed the love. It seems like those relationships still stand to this day. They can always go back and collaborate. They can always go back and do things. They can always go look at Master P being able to, you know, go back and do things with Snoop when, you know, they did a collab back in the day, and, you know, just respecting the craft of everything. Like, I remember, I hate to say it, but I remember the time when 50 Cent had said that he was at a press conference and they were talking about making clean music. And, you know, somebody said, well, Master P is doing a clean label with him and his son. What do you guys think about that? And, you know, 50 Cent said, well, where's Master P right now? And I was thinking like, oh. But I didn't know the history with him and Master P. So 50 Cent hosted The Basement, Rap City, BET. And Master P came on there. And Master P sat real like how close we're sitting. He said, right? He said, yeah, he said that in so many words, that bothered me that you said that because they don't know I paid for your first tour. And I was like, wow, Master P paid for your first tour. Things you don't know. Mm-hmm. So imagine, you know, trying to diss Master P and he's the one fronting your tour and nobody knew who you were at first. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's things like that. So I said that to say it's a tip. It will help you to acknowledge those that paved the way. It will only help you. I'm telling you that it will only help you because those people work real hard to get where they are. And a lot of them, believe it or not, they make a lot of them executive decisions you think you want done, from radio airplay, deals, cutting the checks, you know, who actually works with you. Like, this industry is about relationships.
Oh, it's about relationships.
It's about pure relationships.
And, you know, and the crazy part is that, you know, you absolutely right. Like, you can burn a bridge that don't exist yet.
Yes.
You feel me?
Yes.
And you be like, you know what I mean? When you come to that motherfucker, you go drop straight into the ocean. You know what I'm saying? Because you burnt that bridge. You didn't even know that this person was going to be where they are. But at the same time, I would encourage you guys to just do it. Just have respect for your elder statesmen in your group, in the culture. Just have respect for the people.
The thing to do.
Yeah, just have respect. You feel me? That's just it. Just have respect.
True.
Like even if they don't give me nothing, I'ma always respect what Dre and them put down. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
What Quick put down. You know what I'm saying?
What all the females
Compton's
in
Most
hip-hop
Wanted,
put down.
Yo-Yo,
Real talk,
JJ Fad. You know what I mean? King T, DJ Pooh, Deadly Threat. You feel me? DOC. I'm all above the law. Big Hutch. I'ma always respect what they put down. You feel me? So I don't gotta get nothing from them. Yeah. So if the next generation after me and the generation after that, if they keep that code, then the West Coast will always be all good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'll be where we supposed to be. Just keep that code. We gotta stay on code with each other, man.
We do.
We gotta stay on code with each other. But yeah, Good Kid, M.A.A.D City. We do not throw the classic title just to anybody. This out by the time I heard him on at the end of the M.A.A.D City joint after A.A.D was finished, and he started doing his spoken word thing, and the voice was pitching up and down as he was doing his spoken. I said, this shit is a masterful. This is masterful.
On the real.
He's getting his point across. See, we're listening to an album that was created by a student of the game.
And a master of the game.
And a master of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like at first when I hear, I said, okay, wait a minute, because every time I listen to a new artist that's relatively new to me, I start thinking about their influences. Like, who can I hear? Who influenced this guy? You know what I'm saying? Or who influenced her? You feel me? And I was like, okay, this sounds like if Andre 3000 was from Compton on this hook part right here. And then I said, okay, this sound like, you know what I mean? If this sound like 90 something Corrupt right here, but this, then I was like, well, this guy, so he got his own originality, and you know, he's from that cloth of these guys. That are super talented. He's just from that cloth. Yeah. So like listening to it, I knew it was a masterpiece when I was halfway through it, and I said, you know what, this album is gonna stand the test of time. And you know, here we are years later talking about it, breaking it down. And you know,
him and Drake went back and forth on that Compton.
Yes, I wanted to mention that, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to mention that. Yeah, that's dope. No, go ahead. Say what you was gonna say.
I was just saying, you know, if that was necessary because someone is looking at Compton from how it began to somebody spitting about Compton, how it existed right there.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it was crazy. And the whole spectrum was dopeness.
Yeah.
What?
But I also want to say, one of my favorite producers, I had no idea because I've never seen this done before. Just Blaze did that with the Dr. Dre feature.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
See, I haven't seen Dr. Dre feature on something he did not produce.
Yeah.
So that's just dope as fuck. And I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm a Just Blaze. He's one of my favorite producers. Just Blaze. His shit is signaturized. His sound to a degree. It's real signaturized. But yeah, I thought that was dope on that Compton. Him and Dre killed that.
I like that recipe.
Bars involved.
Yeah,
I like that recipe.
That
bounce on that recipe.
And see, and look, Scoop DeVille did that with Dre on there.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
that's dope. That's dope. Now that got to feel good. To Just Blaze. What?
You got the almighty Dr.
You
Dre
got the
blessing
almighty
the microphone
Dre,
on your beat.
Kendrick. Come on, man. You killed two birds with one stone.
That was hard.
It's a done. Yeah, it's a done.
That's why I know if y'all talked about that Poetic Justice feature from Drake, I know y'all gonna talk about that Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe remix.
Jay-Z.
Jigga. Jigga.
Jigga on your debut.
Yeah.
You over the moon.
You over the moon. See, everybody's heavyweight. He didn't have no lightweights on here, from production to features. I mean, and then it was just and see, nothing seemed forced. It seemed like everybody was in the pocket they were supposed to be in. That was dope.
Yeah, that remix. Dope. I remember when it was debuted and they used that picture with Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant together, because I feel like it resonated with the feeling of it, because it's like, bro, like it's like Jay-Z is Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant is Kendrick. Ah. You know what I mean? So I remember when everybody saw that remix drop, they like, what, Jay-Z? Like, everybody was astounded.
He did what he's supposed to do. What you're supposed to do when you get a stellar feature from anyone, even when you just get a feature, really, and you remix or remake one of your songs, you do a remix, you're supposed to remix it with a new verse.
Yeah.
That's of the par and caliber of the feature.
You are.
Or features that you're adding to the remix.
You are supposed to remix it with a new verse.
The same exact
You're not
verse
supposed to use the same verse.
Whoop-de. You gotta get killed on your own jam.
True.
So I like how he kicked it off and twisted it up, and you know what I'm saying, and restructured it to introduce Jay-Z coming on and doing his thing at the end.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that.
He raised the energy on the remix too, because when you listen to the first one, it's like a normal mellow, but when Jay-Z was on, he raised the energy up. Like, come on, man, you think I'm gonna let Jay-Z outside me?
Yeah, he do that.
On my shit?
Nah, that's that competitive Gemini. You know what I'm saying? You know how we get down, son. That's really dope. Y'all brought that up. I totally forgot. Like, dang, that was the remix of the swimming pools.
No, Bitch
Don't Kill My Vibe.
That was that remix.
Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. That was everything.
That on the radio. That's when you can still hear some bars on the radio. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
FM radio, not Sirius Satellite XM. FM radio.
Yes. Bars.
On a song though, not a freestyle. Come up here and freestyle, and I'ma never play your songs. Nah, I'm talking about bars on a song. Oh yeah, you know how we do.
We gonna talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
We'll get to it, but Good Kid, M.A.A.D City.
Shout out to Backseat Freestyle too, since we brought up freestyle.
That's real. That was my joint too.
Ah, yeah. Heck yeah. Nah, this whole album is classic. It's poetry in motion, man, from beginning to end. Just light your instant of blunt and whatever you drink on, and just push play.
Yeah, it's
one of those. It's a vibe. That's what it is. It's a damn vibe. And son.
I love how,
that's why he say don't kill it.
Yeah, he really did paint a picture with this album, and it was authentically sequenced, which is why I believe it is a classic. It has a story within every single song. It has the classic voicemails, the dialogues. It would just fit perfectly. I would like to call this like an audio movie, because it has some type of theatrical feel, but it's like, dang, this really happened? Like, you know, the effect and impact is so beautifully done, and the fact that it's still on the charts, is still creating records and Guinness Book of Records and all that, and 4 Grammy Award nominations and a Pulitzer Prize that he earned by just creating this masterpiece. A Pulitzer Prize. Have you ever heard a rapper gaining a Pulitzer Prize of a rap album?
Never. That's darkest history. Never. I ain't never heard.
Yeah, he made history.
That's the first time ever.
Yeah. See, intellect got you speaking at colleges. You know what I'm saying? You have to read. You know.
Y'all make sure y'all like and subscribe, you bitch.
And then in the comments, what's your favorite song from Good Kid, M.A.A.D City? Let us know. What was you doing when it dropped? You know, we read comments and we may even mention it on the next show. Mention some of the stuff you were doing, because we probably was doing the same thing.
Good hat. G's up, D-Yak and Crooked podcast. Kimmie Diamond on the side with us today. Yeah, we was just riding with that Good Kid, M.A.A.D City. You know, another classic review. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Come back for more because we're going to be here. This album was brought to you by Mercedes of Long Beach, 2300 Spring Street in Signal Hill, California. Much love for the support. When you want to ride, fly, check out Mercedes-Benz of Long Beach.